presenters and artists are over here. Some of them, if they want to be available for photos, feel free. You guys take your time. If you want to take questions or such, totally your prerogative. I believe we do have a couple of matters for you guys before we get into or after we do the presentation of the awards. So they're going to go ahead and tally the observation notes there. We're going to have Terry and Carrie come up and give us a little bit of history and just share some love. Their mom started the Regalia competition, again, quite some time ago. Having been part of Swaia events and such, it was always a neat thing, especially when I was running the merchandise booths. I could just poke my head out and watch, so that was fun. But just seeing the pride in all these different cultures, all these different tribes presenting here at Indian Market, that is a spirit for the event that can never be taken away. So here we go. Terry, Carrie.
Aho, thank you all for sitting in the hot sun and enjoying this. It's not a competition anymore, and I think my mother would have been really happy about that. The idea of our nations competing against one another in our traditional clothing is not something that I think, it was something that she needed to do because competition is what this market based in capitalism is about. So they were competing against one another, and what Natasha has done is allowing each of them to come up here and speak about who they are and what inspires them and all of that. And that is really at the heart of what my mother, I know, would have really appreciated about how this has moved forward into this new era. So I really enjoy, I have to say, seeing Malachi here, because I remember him when he was a baby, and I remember my mother being like, oh my God, you have to see this child. And so seeing him here with his son is just the history of how we are as Native people and how these things are passed forward through us. Everyone from elder makers to young people making these things and expressing themselves through this clothing that we wear. Fashion is something that all of us, all human beings, use to identify each other and to self-identify ourselves. Whether you are a French person walking streets of Paris, or whether you're in New York City and you love seeing the fashion thing in the New York Times, what people are wearing, or whether you're a Native person like that young man was, who's only 15 years old, making his first outfit to come out here and honoring his father and his mother in that way. We use what we wear to identify and to identify others. So I'm really grateful that this is continuing to exist here for Indian Market. I'm really grateful for you all sitting here. And it's very meaningful to me and my sister to be included in this as well. Our mother, I'll give a little bit of history. Our mother came here in 94. Oh, I'm sorry, she came here, yeah, God, all right, I'm older than I think I am. She came here in the late 80s, 88, 89. Her very first year here, Indian Market, she was like, my God, amazing, right? And my mother was a fashionista herself. She always had been. She had a trading post on the Wind River Reservation, Wyoming, for over 25 years. She sold Native art that entire time, antiquities as well as contemporary work. She sold work from all over the United States, not just the Wind River Reservation, but all over because of the trading routes that still exist. And so when she came here, the next year she wanted to enter into this competition. So the following year, I think it was in 1989, I have a photograph of my mother standing right over here with her blue ribbon, and she had gotten the cradle board that was made for my sister and I, the Kiowa cradle board, and she was wearing that with her Kiowa red sleeve dress and her Kiowa leggings and all of her Kiowa clothing. And these are things that she had made, things that were gifted to her, things that she had been that she had made for herself. All of those things together combined into her outfit, and she got to enter in, and she won that ribbon. I have the ribbon. I have the photograph of my mother in that outfit of hers, which is actually a ceremonial outfit for us. And then I think it was maybe the following year, the year after that, she started to volunteer. And that's when she was put in charge of the competition and started running it. It was the most photographed event in all of Indian Market for about 20 years. It was what was on the cover of all the newspapers and the magazines the following day was these people that were standing on this stage, sharing of themselves, their culture for you all. So do we have, how much more time do we need, Natasha? All right, because I'm going to do something that my mother did, which I thought was hilarious and fun, and especially in this moment in time. She would do a thing, ask an Indian anything moment. All right, people, ask an Indian anything. No, you scared? Come on. I know you got questions. Yes. So I'm not sure every nation has their own interpretation of what these things are. Native American is a word that you all came up with for us. I'm not Native American. I'm Kiowa. He's not Native American. Pawnee. All right. So this is how we understand ourselves. So that red paint used by different people for different purposes. For Kiowas, it's protection. Questions?
Are there standard rhythmic patterns in the music? Are there standard rhythmic patterns in the music?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the more you attend our dances and the more you go to our events and you learn about us, you will start to hear those differences in what those in that rhythm. And there's also, if you're involved in music at all and you have a musical ear and you actually start to really listen, there are huge regional differences. And those differences are related to our nations and actually how our nations interacted with other nations. We gift songs, we gift ceremonies, we buy ceremonies, we pay for ceremonies between each other. So the songs, all those songs and all of that, they're real specific to who those people are. They also have a sound from the place that they are of. What I mean by that is that northern drum that you hear, tong 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 tong, high, hard, dry, cold. Southern drum, soft, boom, boom, boom. It has to do with the moisture in the hide. That sound is different. Anybody who drums knows that there's a difference in that hide depending on the weather and how that weather is. And so, yes, there's a big difference. Oh yes. Yeah, and it's also not just syllables. It's not just sound. Yeah, they're singing, and so I know, and there's a so the powwow thing that you all understand, maybe go to and whatever, that is social dancing, and there's a lot of sharing that goes along with that. So I've been at powwows where I know it's a Kiowa song, and then the men are just humming along, and I'm like, where's the words? And so it's someone who gathered that song, but they don't know what they're saying, so they're just making that. But that's a modern day thing. That's not actually how that's wrong. I'm just going to call it, that's wrong. All right, yes.
Like in general today, like various groups feel a sense of connection with other groups around the country. Let's say, what today is the United States, Canada, Mexico, is there a sense of connection or more like we're more independent?
The borders crossed us. The borders crossed us. And it's not just Mexico and America. The borders crossed all of us up here, too. We don't see a difference between the Canadian Anishinaabes and the American Anishinaabes. There is no difference for us for that. So, and just like down along the southern border, there's no difference between those Indians on the other side and the Indians on this side. The U.S. government's the one that put that border across this and says that they're different. Up in Canada, the Mohawks, that Canadian border cuts right through them. And you have to have a damn passport to walk back and forth as a Native person. Well, you don't. They have their own thing going on up there. But so, yes, and there's absolutely allyships. Our old allyships from before America those still exist, absolutely. And I would say in this day and age, in the modern day and age, Native Americans have deep allyships with one another. We have old beefs, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we got old beefs with other tribes, but, oh yeah, it looks like they're ready. But anyway, all right, thank you. Thank you all for attending.